Training camp is fully underway for the Los Angeles Chargers, and it's exciting because you can really see the difference. There's been a couple mic'd up episodes from Jim Harbaugh, and you really get to see how he motivates, builds confidence. That's his main thing. So if you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans. We have this channel all about the Chargers. Get an unbiased look into the Chargers. And here's what I would say. There's a rookie that is a very important rookie that's impressing both coaches Hart. And so here's the thing about Cam Hart. If you look at it, Jim Harbaugh, well, one of the things about Cam Hart is you need to find, if you're a Chargers fan, depth all across the board. You've got the star players. We've highlighted that. Derwin James, your quarterback, defensive ends, Asante Samuel. Like there's star players all over the place, but you got to find some depth pieces would really help. So both Jim Harbaugh and safety Derwin James had high praise for Hart after his stellar play. We'll look at it here. Actually had an interception. Let's take a look. So he's big and strong, and I think that's the difference in this guy from other corners. You can see his teammates loving it. So here's what Jim Harbaugh had to say, and then what Derwin James had to say. Jim Harbaugh said the length, for sure, the things that stand out to you right away, the range, the instincts, the way he can put this foot in the ground and accelerate. To be able to be that long and strong like Derwin James, for them to backpedal, plant, drive on things, it's harder than the smaller little guy. It's a good, rare combination. So to have the size and the speed, really important. We look at him and go, you got the license and ability to go a long way in this game. He's right on track. So if you're going to build this, it's going to start with the draft. You have to draft well. And so to get Cam Hart later in the draft and build your nucleus, build your core from here on out, it's not that the Chargers are going to win this year, and they might. They very well may. But it's what's the trajectory? That's what Chargers fans want to know about. That's what the Lions had there for many years. It's like, man, it's not the winning. It's just like, I just want to know that we're on the right direction. And so if you can find guys and draft well, then you know you are. Derwin James. I love Cam Hart. I'm a big Cam Hart fan. He's big, confident guy, long out there. He looks like a basketball player out there. He's so long, but he's learning every day. He is coachable every day. The sky is the limit for him. So both Jim Harbaugh and a veteran in Derwin James said, you know what? You could do a lot of really good things, man. Like, just hang in there. It's going to be awesome for you. So Hart's takeaway wasn't the only one of the day, as safety Tony Jefferson nabbed a pick on 7-on-7 drills. Keep an eye on him as well. Tony Jefferson. Now, this goes back to early in training camp. We're a couple days in now, but Tony Jefferson, another safety that's like, all right, everybody's talking about the new people on the Chargers, as you should. Rookies, free agents. But there's all these guys that are going from like second year to third. Josh Palmer, Quentin Johnston, first to second, second to third. Thule, can Bosa stay healthy? I mean, there's so many question marks. And if those questions turn out to be positive, then the Chargers are in a great spot. If they turn out to be like, oh, Bosa can't stay healthy, Thule didn't take another step, Cam Hart's not working out, and you just kind of go down the list, yeah, it's going to be a tough season. But those question marks come through. You got Justin Herbert, Jim Harbaugh, then you're rolling. So Tony Jefferson is one of those guys. It's like, all right, let's go. A handful of other defensive backs stepped up. Asante Samuel Jr., star, denying a pair of passes, and both Christian Fulton and Denzel Perryman coming up with pass breakups and 11-on-11 drills. We've been saying this whole offseason, if the Chargers can figure out a way to play well defensively, this keeps them in games, and you have a star quarterback. So if you have a star quarterback, then you can win games if your defense can just keep you in the game. So many times, defense last year for the Chargers was giving up things. It was just hard. Like, it's just hard now for the offense. Like, go out there, you're down 10, you're down 7, you're down 12, you're down, you know what I'm saying? You're always just kind of down, and then your star quarterback brings you in, keeps you in the game. But there's a difference between him putting you ahead, getting some cushion, and like always trying to come back. It's just like so hard to do. Now, Harbaugh added, so another thing that is kind of interesting is that all the way, go back to Wednesday, and is when Jim Harbaugh said rookie Junior Colson recently had his appendix removed and that there wasn't a timetable for him to return. I don't have a medical degree, so we'll have to wait and see. Again, not a huge deal, but he's missing reps, plain and simple. Now, here is what is a big deal. J.K. Dobbins, who's just been nothing but positive. Can't wait to see what he's going to do. He's had an injury history, but he's ready to rock and roll. Said this is going to be the best year. Watch out. Thinks he can be a great running back. All this. Like, what else is he going to say? I get it. He said that this is going to be a special year for him. And then 24 hours later, he leaves practice early. And there's no immediate update on these three players, but they're all important players in Slater, Dobbins, and Donald Parham. So it's like, well, okay, don't like that. So keep an eye on that. And this is what we have to watch for in training camp. Who's going to make the team? Who's going to step up and be the depth pieces and where they're going to be and the shuffling of the roster. And then just health, general health coming out of camp and who makes it out. And it's like, it shouldn't be like that, but it's kind of interesting. Another thing down here is big day for the receivers. Deep catches by DJ Chark, Quentin Johnston, and Brendan Rice. So these are the three guys that we've highlighted repeatedly on this channel. DJ Chark was with the Lions there, and I thought he was a really good player. He kind of got a bad, not even a bad rap. He just ended up going to the Carolina Panthers last year. Mistake, because they were terrible. So he was on a terrible Jacksonville team. Then he goes to the Lions, had one good year there, then decides to cash in. Don't blame him, but he goes to the Carolina Panthers and they're really bad. And so he's had one really good year and is with the Lions. And now, so I think he's a good player still. And I think he can rebound and I think he can do it with the Chargers. Quentin Johnston, he's making plays out there and Jim Harbaugh's backing him up and saying, I got no problems with him and he's good. Like that's huge. That's the difference from last year to this year is you can get Quentin Johnston, these players that just everyone's talking about the new players. I'm talking about in this video, Cam Hart, but what about the next phase of players? Those guys going from year 1 to year 2, year 2 to year 3. What can Jim Harbaugh do with them? That's the real story. And Quentin Johnston is right in there on that. So again, if you're new to the channel, we are Detroit Lions fans, but this channel, all about the Chargers, excited about what's coming up here as training camp rolls on, get into preseason games, kind of see who's stepping up, who's going to be doing something good for the team. And so make sure you subscribe if you haven't. We're on our way to 10,000 subs on this channel, and hit that like button, of course, but subscribe if you haven't. Would love if you would subscribe, especially if you're watching this far into the channel. Just hit the subscribe button. We'll be around daily videos, and we'll see all of you on the next one.